Hi, Johnny. It's you, you're back again. Very sus. I just got out of the hottest shower I've had in probably like a year. I'm ready to like take a nap. We'll be doing an ad in a minute or so. I'm going to go get myself a drinky and get everything set up here. And then we are going to get started. And that drink will not be a Red Bull. All right. I am going to be having a... What is this here? I should probably turn the lights on brighter. I am having a Eden's Apple gluten-free strawberry craft cider. Sounds very, very interesting. It smells good. It smells like homemade strawberry jam. Like if you were making strawberry preserves or something. So welcome in. If you're, well, I mean, you're probably watching an ad unless you're Johnny. So welcome in. I do need to do one thing. I need to get my playlist. We are going to be doing several Chocobo. Actually, we'll see how far we get today. We will be doing Chocobo Racing. So instead of listening to the same Chocobo Racing song for hours at a time, we are going to pull up a Chocobo playlist. And then we'll have that on in the background. How's them apples? I just want to make sure that there's nothing here that I can't play here. Yeah, I had a day today. That is all I will say. I had a day. And that day is now over. So, yeah, it was a day. That's all I can say. Take that one out. I basically want to take out any of these that might be questionable. I think we're okay for all of these. These are all actual like game Chocobo songs. So we'll do some shuffle. All right. So let's get this party started. We'll start the timer and then we will talk about what the plan is for today. All right, so today's plan is Chocobo Racing. Lots of it. Now there are, so I'm gonna start the racing and I'll talk about what the plan is on, because so there, I've kind of set this up partly by mistake and partly on purpose. It worked out better than I had planned, but I have a plan on exactly how we're going to do this. First, we have to go to the gold saucer, though. All right, we're finally getting our golden ticket. All right, gold saucer. So here's the plan. If you look at the materia list on the screen there, you will see what we're kind of missing still. Some of these are directly from Chocobo Racing. Some of them are from Chocobo Breeding. Some of them are from Wonder Square, just buying them with GP, and then there's a couple other that are from the Battle Square here. There is one called Underwater, which we have to go on a trip for, and then the remainder are all in the final dungeon. So that's how we got this set up. Now, when we do the Chocobo breeding, there are periods where we're going to be doing some racing, and then there's also periods where we have to go fight stuff because apparently Chocobos can't breed like 5 times in a row. Imagine that. So the plan is every time that we have to take a break to let our Chocobos rest, I guess, that's when we're going to go do one of the little side things that we need to do, because there's 3 side things that we have to do still. So one is we need to go down into Underwater Junin and get the ghost ship, morph the ghost ship to get the underwater materia. That's one. We might not even need it for Emerald Weapon, but we need it for the list, so we have to do that. By the time we go down Junin and fight everything on the way down and fight everything on the way back, we should have enough fights that we're done with the Chocobo rest. So that's one. The next one will be the big trip, which is going down the Northern Crater and collecting all the items, go all the way to the very end, and then turn around and come all the way back. Then we'll do another breeding at that point. And then the final one is we're just going to go to Corel, because it's actually really near to here. And we're going to murder those little mushrooms on different people to get the different limit break levels, because we want Cloud still needs his level 3. We need to get Sid leveled up because we might end up using High Wind. And then we also need to kind of level up Yuffie's, and Yuffie has basically done nothing this game. So we have to kill a ton of enemies. So we're going to just do like Matron Magic or Slash all the little mushroom guys and we'll be done. All 3 of those things should be enough battles to let the Chocobos rest, because we need 1 rest for our current Chocobos. After we do that, will get us blue and green. Then those ones need some time because we need to breed them to get the black. And then the black one needs rest to breed it with the wonderful to get the gold Chocobo. So it kind of all lines up. We are going to do Battle Square last because we also need to level Cloud up a bit before we do Battle Square. So we will do Chocobo Square to get GP. And then as we get the GP, we'll clear out the Wonder Square items. And then we're just going to be grinding GP doing Chocobo stuff to get enough stuff to do the Battle Square. That's the plan. So yeah, let's see how well this goes. Thankfully, the early ones will be easy. Now, technically you only have to race these guys like 4 times. But because we need GP to get all the other stuff, we'll just kind of raise these guys until we get to like rank A on both of them. And that'll get us a good like GP start. Because we need GP for the battle square. And I need to make sure that when we do the battle square, we don't have to leave too many times, because when we leave, we lose our points. So we need enough JP to do the battle square to get enough points to be able to get an item at least every trip. And we're kind of trouncing the competition here. Unfortunately, for this part, we have to wait until the next person crosses. So, yeah, that's Chocobo Racing for you. Well, this cider is actually pretty good. So we'll be converting every item we win into GP, unless it's an item we need. And those don't appear until a lot later. This is also why I made the Chocobo list, the playlist for music, because it's just going to be the race song and the win song over and over. Come on, Bolt Plume. No, that's not Bolt Plume. We can do short, we can do long. We'll mix them up for fun. Oh wow, those those items suck. I'm trying to remember. Shark. If we need, when we do Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, how we're doing all of the world intel, but not necessarily all the quests. So I don't know how much Chocobo racing we have to do. I think we have to do a little bit. Oh yeah, yeah. I was sitting there last night when I was thinking about this, about like how big of an advance between 6 and 7 some of this stuff was. Right, like in 6 you have a Chocobo, but you literally only use it on the overworld map and use it just a few times. And then this one they're like, why don't we just make it so you can race them? I'm sure at some points someone probably made a comment when like development earlier on. It's like, if we have these really fast birds, why isn't there a race for them? Good job, Paula. That's 2 races in a row. Another tranquilizer. Great F. Yeah, the only one that we're naming actual name is the gold. Hey, Tag. You love the old FF7? Yeah, I haven't had, like, I mean, I played it a couple years ago, but the last playthrough I did, we didn't do any Chocobo Racing. And it's like, oh man, I miss this. I remember literally sitting in my bedroom playing FF7 in high school, driving my mom absolutely nuts. Because I would race for like hours. And she's like, is this game literally just this? And I'm like, no. Like, no, I'm just doing this on purpose. I'm not even sprinting. I'm just running. It is now, Mom. Yeah. To this day, there's little things that drive my parents insane. My dad, if I play any version of Rufus's March, he'll get like visibly angry. And not because it's a bad song, it's because it's a terrible earworm, and once he gets it in his head, it never goes away. It drives him completely up the wall. So I was playing Rebirth when I went to go visit Mom and Dad. And I'm at like the part where it's going to play, and I'm like, hey Dad, I'm like, maybe you should probably go outside and cut the grass. Like, you don't want to be here. And he immediately said, he's like, is that stupid March gonna play? I'm like, yeah. Yeah, it's something you have to do, yeah. The number of times my mom wouldn't take away like my PS1 or my SNES or whatever. She would take the power cord away. And then she realized that I had a backup cord for my PS1. Yeah, taking the controllers away works too, yeah. Ooh, hello. I wouldn't mind Elixir for points. Oh god. Oh, you know what? This is B rank. We might have a chance. Well, let's go. It also didn't help until I was, I think it was grade 10 when I bought myself a TV. Because I didn't have a summer job until grade 10. So until then I had to use the TV in the living room, which means my mom always had priority. I was only allowed to use it when my mom wasn't using it. He's probably going to whoop us here because we're just a little slow here. We might, ooh, come on, let's go. No. Yeah, we knew that was going to happen. Bastard. What a disappointment. I lost. All right, we have a chance. Yeah, I remember I didn't game a lot of multiplayer stuff, so like my friends and I never really played video games. We had just kind of hung out. My dad and I would play the first Gran Turismo, because that was when my dad's like, oh, video games can be kind of cool. Until then, he's like, meh. And then, you know, we played Gran Turismo 2, and then I got him into Soul Calibur. And he was really good at Soul Calibur. He would constantly whip my ass doing that. All right, now we gotta hang out. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the character. It was the character that had like blades on his hands and legs. I can't remember his name. Voldo, yeah. My dad would use Voldo and just kick my ass every single time. Yeah, Fire Fang, it's fine. Yeah, I don't like I was okay using some of the other characters, but for some reason my dad could just kill with that one. The one funny thing I always kind of joke with my dad, we would play Gran Turismo, and my dad would use, I can't remember exactly which car it was, but it was like I think it was like a Chrysler from like a Chrysler 67 or something like that. And that car had the worst handling. It was impossible to drive that car. And my dad would just use it and just constantly just get first over and over and over. I'm like, how are you doing this? Like, the car is so bad, it handles like trash. And he's like, oh, this car, like the game's just like the real thing. He's like, I drove one of these cars for years. He's like, yeah, the car's terrible. It's like, oh, okay. Because it was kind of like it was like a cross between like a hatchback and a wagon. Like even the shape was weird. Yeah. Well, and it's nice that even back then there was still kind of priority of making it look right. Yeah, it's like this car just sucks. And the fact that he was just so good with it. All right, what do we get? Fire Fang. Actually, any of these are okay. Yeah, Fire Fang, that's like 20. Ooh, Turbo Ether. Those are points. But yeah, my mom wasn't much of a gamer. Dad didn't play a lot. So my mom really liked what was it called? Alleyway, which was like a Nintendo branded Arkanoid for Game Boy. It had no music. It just had sound effects. And my mom would call it Alley Cat. So she would play that and she would play Tetris on my Game Boy. Those were the only two games she ever played. And my mom, I don't know if, and so anybody, it always makes me laugh every time I see it, where you see someone playing Tetris on a portable, because you'll see it too, people doing it on their phone too, right? Where they instinctually like lean their game to be on the side, right? So like they're playing Tetris on a Game Boy and they're leaning, it's like, come on, go left. Like, that's not how the game works. My mom would just instinctually did that, and she would do it with that, or with Alleyway, because it was Arkanoid, and it was just, she's like, I can never get the ball to go where I want, and she's just constantly like trying to tip the machine over. I'm like, what are you doing? It's like, come on. But everybody did it. Come on, Teardrop. Oh, boo. All right, we got Great F to A rank. So let's do male. This guy is so our stats are kind of split down the middle. The female has some good stats and the male has the other good stats. So hopefully we get a really good blue and green out of this one. This guy's not quite as fast. But my mother would steal my Game Boy at every opportunity, which I think was fair, because they bought it for me for Christmas. So it's like, you know, technically they did pay for it. But every once in a while, like my mom's in her 70s now, and she'll be like, because I don't have my Game Boy anymore, and she'll be like, I really miss Alley Cat. I don't know why she called it that. So last year for Christmas, I made her an Arkanoid clone in Godot. Because I'm like, I need something that will run on her like 10-year-old laptop. So I made her an Arkanoid clone on Godot. That was actually good practice for me too. I should literally just say like, I could just make it so that here's it. Click this and it will open Alley Cat. Yeah. That would actually be really easy, because Game Boy emulators of all kinds. I mean, I would just do BizHawk anyway, but it would work on her laptop. I should actually do that. That's actually a really good idea. I still have the original game. I just don't have my Game Boy anymore. It died like 10 years ago. And I also joke, so I grew up in a small town, and that small town did not have a place to buy video games like 90% of the year. But we had, I live in Canada, so we had a Canadian Tire store, and just in the month of December, they would have like one little rack that was video games. And that was the only time you could buy video games in my town. And I bought a copy of Spud's Adventure for Game Boy, which was like the dumbest game purchase I ever made. And then a couple years ago, I was home for, I was home for Christmas. And my dad, we're sitting at the dinner table, and my dad's like, I found a box of your Nintendo crap in the basement. Spud's Adventure was amazing. But I'm like, I never threw my Nintendo stuff out. So I'm like, yeah, it's probably in the basement. So he brings it up, and there was like, I have a copy of Ogre Battle, like Ogre Battle for Super Nintendo. I have a copy of OB64, which I didn't even know I owned. I think I got it. I think I traded it with somebody and just happened to get that. And then Spud's Adventure, right? So a couple months ago, I'm online and I'm just looking at prices, and I realize that my copy of Spud's Adventure is like $300, because I guess it was a game that they just didn't make a lot of copies of, and for whatever reason my little town got them. So it's pretty rare. It was a lot of fun though. The game was actually really good for a Game Boy game. It was pretty decent. The bosses were, I mean, for a kid they were a little bit challenging, but not too bad. All right, good job, Sandy. So I had a pretty fun day. Today was harrowing. I had to deal with something towards the end of the day that drove me insane. But it's nice just to be kind of like, I'm like, oh, I get to go home and play FF7. But there's also a lot more games. So we're playing FF7 right now. We do have the challenges there. We have to earn all materia and master an enemy skill materia. But after this, we have Crisis Core Reunion, and then Dirge Cerberus, and then FF8, FF9, whole crap load of games that we're going to be doing kind of all back to back to back. So we're streaming 3 or 4 times a week, some of these games I've never finished. All the mainline ones I've beaten before. I have not. I've played Dirge of Cerberus for like an hour, but that was a long time ago. I've beaten Crisis Core. I have not beaten FF10 last mission, 10-2 last mission. The marathon is part of Extra Life, yeah. Yeah, so we're raising money for Sick Kids Hospital. We started in March, I think, because I knew that it was going to take a while, and this is going to roll into like next year. So I'm not going to be doing Extra Life next year. I'm just doing Extra Life this year. But we'll still be playing the games into next year. We're actually having game day. Game day, I think, is Saturday, but I have to work. So my game day is going to be this Friday. But we're doing something a little bit different on Friday. We're going to be doing Mega Man Maker all day. And we're going to be making like an entire game's worth of Mega Man stages. B rank. Mega Man Maker, yes. It's a fan game. But yeah, it's badass. Jelly Donut Kitty. Hi. Hope everyone's having a good day. Welcome in, Raiders. I'm not old. You're old. So there. Ha. Got him. So yeah, we're going to be doing Mega Man Maker 8 a.m. to probably about 8 p.m. But realistically, it's until we're done. We're going to be doing 8 robot stages, as well as some Wily stages to end the game. And I have a base list of Robot Masters, but for a $2 donation, if you go to the donation page, which, how far am I? Yeah, I'm far ahead. So on the donate page, there are incentives that for $2, you can donate to pick a Robot Master and kind of theme of the stage, and we'll replace one of the ones on the list. And it's just going to be kind of a chill day. I happen to be off on a Friday because I have to work on Saturday. So welcome in, Raiders. I think most of Raiders I probably know. Hi, Erica. We're playing FF7. We're doing a ton of Chocobo Racing. We are almost done the first round of races. And then after that, we're going down to Junon to get the item for the underwater materia, if you need that. If you're new to the channel, I'm Taevan. We are doing Taevan Takes on Final Fantasy. We're raising money for Sick Kids Hospital all year long. We've done really good for this year. I've actually like tripled everything I've raised before. I'm having a good one. It is a lot. The way we did it was every single game across the entire series, we added incentives to them. So as an example, we did an FF5 for Job Fiesta run. There were incentives to beat Omega. There were some challenges as well. We added a couple extra games. A lot of the big challenges actually start in this game, which is why even though we've beaten 12 games, we're only at 147 hours. Partly is because we played tactics. But starting with FF7, the challenges add a lot of time. So this one, it was basically getting all the materia and all the Chocobo Racing adds a lot of time. In 9, we have to do all the Chocographs and beat Ozma. In 10, 10 is a penance run, so that's going to be a long game. And then, what's the next one after that? The next long one is 13, because 13 we have to do everything, because we have to do all the thief missions in that one. So I expect that we're going to get into like the we'll probably get into the 400s or 500s. Because FF10 is going to be probably a good like 70 hours probably. We also have to do all Celestial weapons, which means I have to dodge 200 lightning bolts. Ugh. But it's all for charity. So I'm very, very happy with how it's turned out this year. Everybody's been freaking awesome. Let's do a long one. for the fun of it. Should send incentives through the year. Yeah, it was the only reason. So what had happened was 3 years ago, on my old channel, which had some issues with hate raids towards the end of it, which is why I kind of started a new channel later on. Is I decided I was going to play through the core series, which was not as long as this list. And then when I finished it, I'm like, you know what? There's some of the other games that I've never played before that I would love to get a chance to play. So I'm like, okay, well, I'll do the series playthrough again in a couple years. And then when I was thinking about it in the over the winter, I'm like, well, I'm going to do Extra Life. I'm like, why don't I do incentives for each game? There's also some milestones as well. There were some milestone games. I still need to get back to Theater Rhythm. Unfortunately, I've been having issues with my capture card in my Switch too, so I'm gonna have to do it on PS4 instead. So thank you for the follow, by the way. And then yeah, it just kind of evolved from there. Some of the earlier games, I also did some other stuff. So I donate $10 every time we beat a game. And then for some of the earlier games where I knew that I was pretty good at them, I was doing a game over incentive where I would donate money every time I got a game over. Let's just say Sick Kids Hospital made bank on Mystic Quest because it was very rude to me. But now we're not going to be doing that just because the games are so long. And we're also getting into games that I've never played before. And I'm not going to do like a game over incentive every time on a game that I've never played. All right, that's A rank. Let's see if there's anything we can buy in Wonder Square. Because we should have like 500 points now. Oh, maybe not. 235. We need... Well, I think it's all these, it's these three. So we'll need at least 500. Okay. All right, we need to go breed them now. So off we go. But we have some really, really fun incentives. The later ones are like brutal. 15, we have to do all hunts. And it's everything that shows up on the hunt board. Omega is not on the hunt board. And we're not doing all quests either. 16, we're doing all hunts, which means we're doing a lot of the side quests, but not literally everything. World of Final Fantasy, we're doing true ending, which I have never done before. I've gotten the normal ending, but not the true ending. That I understand is a bit of a grind. So that's why it's towards the very, very end. And then we also have FF7 Remake and Rebirth are both on the list, but they're at the very, very end because they were milestone incentives for reaching certain totals. And I have a strange feeling that by the time we get to the end of the list, we'll probably at least have a release date for the third one, which would be a fun way to end the entire thing. That would be a really nice capstone. Because we stream one weekend day a week, most weeks. And then after that, actually, I'm going to go save just in case something terrible goes wrong here. And then we stream usually 2 to 4 times a week in the evenings, but those are shorter streams, which is stuff for like this. One day a week yourself, new kid. Yeah, that a new kid would do it. Yeah. Yeah. I have, it's also kind of pacing yourself too. There's a lot of stuff going on at work right now, so I was doing like 5 streams a week, and now I just can't. I have too much going on. All right, mate. Which two are you going to mate? The only two here. Yes, let's mate these guys with a carob nut. All right, what are we getting? All right, so we got, that's female green, I think, isn't it? Is that female green or blue? I can't tell. I think it's green. It might be blue. In which case, it doesn't really matter. All right, you green. All right, let's go ride. I think that's green. I don't think that's blue. All right, green is mountain, which means, which one is that? That is Utai, right? Utai is the mountain. Wait, this isn't mountain? Is this actually blue? Crap. All right, so green is actually blue. Wraps up with work? Yeah, lurking, no problem. I spent a lot of time lurking in channels. So enjoy your lurk. We're just gonna be plugging away at this. All right, so this should be blue. So we are going... Yeah, we're going here. Right, so we go through here. Is it here we have to go to? Yeah, I think it is, isn't it? Or we just go straight. This doesn't look blue to me. Maybe it's just my screen. Quadra magic. Let's get our big list out here. Where is our list? Here it is. Okay, so Quadra magic is here. Get ourselves turned around. Just need my dashboard here. Alright, we'll drop her off here, and then we have to do a side quest. And also get more silky screens. We have 15, we need more. right, Vincent's out for this mission. Yuffie, who we've almost never used, is in. For now, let's give her this, but we're going to switch out of it. Alright, let's give her Morph. We'll give her enemy skill. And then we're going to start working on all of these because some of these are actually close to being born, which is going to make life a hell of a lot easier. And then we'll give her HP plus, I guess. Now we're going to go to Junon. I did my third monitor blackout. Okay. So this trip is to go down and morph a ship. That'll get us the underwater materia, which will check off an item on our list. It's also to get some fights because we need, I think it's like 8 to 20 fights before we can breed the chocobos again. So this just kind of kills two birds with one stone at the same time. Which is kind of funny because they're chocobos, they are birds. This is one of those odd times where we kind of want a battle. All right, one is finished. Done. Revive is going to take a while. Now, we don't have to master every materia. That's not the goal of this challenge. So the goal of this challenge is to get one of every materia. We don't have to master them. We just have to get one of every single one of them. So we have a choice. We can either grind out all the materia to get the masters, which is an option. And it's not a completely invalid option because it's not going to be hard. It's just time consuming. The other option is that we deal with Ultima Weapon. Or not Ultima, Emerald Weapon. But that requires killing Ultima Weapon or Emerald Weapon, so we'll see. So we can't get back in there, which is unfortunate because there was a save point in the next room. Hey, Sharky. All right, we finally got a restore. That's done. We need Yuffie's limit breaks too. Long range, I don't really care if we ever master it. Wait, what did I just do? Not lightning, store. Oh my God. There he is. Hey, buddy. That was rude. There we go. Now we just have to get out of here. Oops. Cool, thanks. I can't remember if the shortcut is still here after the world starts falling apart. I can't remember. If the guy is still, yeah, okay, still here. This is faster than walking out. All right. Everyone stay calm. We're here. We made it. Now, which house is the guy again? I don't remember. I think it's the one. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. Yes, we shall trade. Yoink. All right, underwater materia is done. So we're going to take a little break in a minute here. Partly so I can get a tiny snack, because I shouldn't be having this cider without a meal, honestly. And we might have to do some resetting here anyway, so this is a good spot. So we will be right back. do 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 do. Not me snacking on Crispers. So yeah, we're just kind of chilling today. Don't mind me, I'm just snacking. It has been a day. All right, we are back. Reminder, since the schedule is currently on the screen, so we are going to be playing FF7 both today, which we're doing literally this moment, as well as tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern time. We'll be back with FF7 after that on Sunday, 10 a.m. That will be an interesting stream because I'm not entirely sure what we're going to be doing, but we will be doing FF7. If by some miracle beating Emerald Weapon is, I think beating Emerald Weapon is going to be kind of like the sticking point on this one. Ruby Weapon, if we do Emerald first, Ruby is basically free. We'll just dazer him and knights around him to death. But we'll see. If that is true and that game ends up being blasted really quickly, then we would probably end stream and then come back and we'll start FF8. Because FF8, actually no, Crisis Core is the next on list. Oh no. So I'll actually have to get that set up. But on Friday, this Friday, 8 a.m., Extra Life is there. It's got our stream's game day event. We're going to be playing Mega Man Maker pretty much all day. We're going to be doing a bunch of Mega Man Maker games. I am going to post the list of stage defaults on Discord today after stream. Be here on Discord. And then there are $2 donation incentives. For $2, you can replace one of those on the list with another one. You can pick the Robot Master out of Big Man Maker list of the Robot Masters, as well as you get to pick a theme. So if you're picking a theme, maybe you're doing Freeze Man as an example. And you're like, I want Freeze Man stage. And in this stage, you were climbing an icy mountain to the top, and Freeze Man is at the top of the mountain. That's kind of a theme. That's the kind of thing we're looking for. So, but yeah, that is on Friday. That's going to be actually kind of a really chill day. It's just going to be kind of gabbing and making levels and seeing what we can do in that, because I haven't used it for a while, but I've been playing around with it a little bit. All right, so we now need a male blue. And then we need to go get a bunch of Silka screens. So hopefully, or no, a male green. Hopefully we are good here. This one, and this one. Male green is what we need. All right, that's definitely green. Hey, wow, we got it. Okay. So let's call it blue male, because we did them backwards. Bloom. All right, and then we'll also go for a ride. Let's go get ourselves another materia. This time we're going to Butai. I couldn't possibly screw this up twice in a row. All right, that's mime. We're definitely bearing down on getting this list done. Wow, I hit the button at just the right time, I guess. All right, so as I mentioned in the previous streams, bugs in the game, glitches that let us skip parts of the game, like skip areas and skip plot, are not allowed. But glitches that don't break the game are allowed. So the W item duplication glitch is allowed. The only 2 times we're using this in the game is one is for focus screens because it just makes it faster because they're like 5 grand a piece. And the other one is for elixirs, and the only reason we're doing elixirs is not to use them, but if we do the AP grind, we need elixirs. We need a lot of them. So it saves basically having to farm elixirs, which takes for freaking ever. So we're doing it this way. As you can see, if you don't know what the glitch is, if you've never seen this before, with W item, you can use 2 items in a row. So you pick an item that you want to duplicate and you use it. And then you go to pick the second item. And then when you're on the target, you cancel. And the game thinks that you're canceling both of them, but it doesn't cancel the first one. So the item goes back in your inventory like that. There, 99. Easy. All right, so now we have 2 chocobos we need to feed. So we're gonna give them 45. 45 looks like a good number. Again, so if you have a pet, you don't do this when you have a pet. You don't feed them like all their steroids all at once. Or any. Don't feed your pet steroids. No matter how big you want it to be, because it's just not natural. You should just never do that. Alright, feeding. Good job, Johnny. You're definitely failing uphill. So again, we'll just pretend that this is blue and the other one is green, because apparently I don't know my colors. All right. So now we have another 2 that we have to race. We will race these guys to S because they should be better than the other ones. Why do I have that? Oh my god. I have had the hiccups non-stop for days. My boss, she's constantly laughing at me because I will I'll start hiccuping out of nowhere for no reason. Also, Johnny, thank you for adding that much more to the jackpot. We're at 4.5 million marks from the jackpot now. Good job. The donation is greatly appreciated. I like how the lady at least acknowledges that we just walked into the park. I'm assuming we showed her our ticket. Well, we have a lot of stamina. I think that said 999 stamina. All right, since we're racing to S rank, I'm going to put on our Chocobo playlist. Just so we don't have to listen to the victory song for like 5 minutes every time we finish a race. So give me one moment. All right, there's going to be some variety in here. There's a whole lot of Chocobo tracks in this playlist. I put on shuffle. It better not do them all in a row. So the thing about the Chocobo Racing is it's going to be really highly variable on how long it takes. We have, I think, 3 materia here that we need to get from here, and it's not completely RNG. We have to get a race that has the prize, and then we need to win the prize with the right. Basically, it's not even who comes in first. We're going to come in first. It's dependent on who comes in second, which we have no control over. And we don't know who won. We don't know. So we don't know what item we could win until after the race is over anyway. So we're going to basically be just doing Chocobo Racing until we get everything we need here. But we'll wait until we have the gold to do most of that. We'll get to S rank on the colored Chocobos. Good, Dario. Good job. Do. So this is going to be a bit of a grind here. When we finish our race, I'm going to talk a little bit about game day. There we go. So game day is for Extra Life. It is a really, really big deal. Extra Life raises money for children's charity Children's Miracle Network hospitals. The one that I'm raising money for is Sick Kids Hospital in Toronto, which is where I live. Every dollar donated goes straight there. It goes straight there. Nothing comes through anybody else. I'm doing pretty much all this for the charity thing. However, game day is on Saturday. I really encourage anyone, if you want to help people out, watch the Extra Life streams. There is an Extra Life tag on Twitch. If you were on Blue Sky or X or whatever social media, there's likely going to be an Extra Life tag. Make sure that you check them out, see what people are playing. A lot of people are doing like real life kind of incentives, dress up and stuff like that, and other kinds of incentives for that. For me, I don't do that. I want to play video games. For me, it's a gaming event, so we'll be doing that. My game day is going to be on Friday. So this coming Friday, which is in like 3 days. C rank, that's B rank. We are going to be doing our play on Friday, 8 a.m. We're going to be playing Mega Man Maker, which is a PC, kind of like Mario Maker, but it's for Mega Man. It's a fan game. Enemy Away is actually on our list. Enemy Away is on our list. So what we're going to do with Mega Man is we're going to be doing 8, 9, I think 13 levels, as well as a final boss, which I'm going to have to kind of play around and figure out what we want to do as a final boss. It'll be like a Wily machine of some kind. But we will be doing an intro stage. Then we're going to be doing so the way I decided to do is we're going to do 2 sets of 4 robot stages, because we can't string the games together, the stages together, without just making it one giant level, which I'd rather not do. So the way it's going to work is the first 4 stages, you will get your main weapon and 1 sub weapon, which we'll do in the intro stage. It'll just be like a really easy boss that's like weak to everything, and you just have to kill the boss and you get a weapon. So the first 4 stages, you have Buster Shot as well as that weapon, and Rush Coil probably. And then after you finish the 4, the other 4 weapons, the other 4 robot masters, you'll have the Buster and the original one, and then the 4 weapons from those 4 stages. Come on, teardrop. Nah, darn. Enemy away would be sweet. Not that we need it. We need it for the material. We don't need it to actually use it. And then after you get those done, there'll be 4 Wily stages where you just have everything. And then a final boss. So we'll be doing, I think, 13 levels overall. So for $2, you can pick a Robot Master as well as a stage kind of theme. Our default stages are going to be Top Man, which is a toy factory gone wrong. So it's going to be similar to like Clown Man's type of level, which was kind of like a toy store, but this is going to be a toy factory. Splash Woman with the theme of Water Labyrinth. So it's like basically we're going to do something like Zelda's Water Temple in Mega Man. So it'll be like a maze, but realistic maze, like not something impossible. And then we have Quickman. Quickman's stage theme is Can't Stop, Won't Stop, which means I think it's going to be a lot of laser beams like in Quickman stage. The things that appear in Ringman stage with the moving platforms where if you step on it, the rainbow kind of fades away. Stuff like that where you constantly have to keep moving. Iceman stage is going to be, the theme is Ice Climbers. So it's going to be like kind of the vertical kind of ice stage, but vertical up instead of Iceman's original stage, which kind of vertical down. And then we're going to have Blast Man, which is just explosions. Burner Man, which my plan is Burner Man is kind of similar to his OG, where it's going to be like a burning forest. Pharaoh Man lives in an actual pyramid, which is similar to there is a fan Mega Man hack called it's Mega Man 4 Minus Infinity, which does something similar like that. Pharaoh's Man stage. Ooh. Oh, we have a chance here. Where it's actually like an actual pyramid. So we're going to do something similar, but our version of that. I'm going to try to get as far ahead as possible early on. And maybe we can stay far enough ahead that he can't catch us. And then Astro Man, which is Wacky Gravity and Yoku blocks, which I think is going to be a lot of fun once I figure out how to make it do what I want to try to make it do. Come on, don't stop, beat him. Yeah, we did it. I wouldn't mind a hero drink. That'd be sweet. I'd actually take the hero drink. All right, so this now we're doing actual like A rank. Oh, enemy away. This is also why I want to do everything like up to A rank or S rank. It's because some of the items appear more often in like A rank. So the more chocobos we get to A rank, the better chance we have of at least seeing the item. Once we have one, we'll just convert the others to GP if we get another one, but and then for Mega Man Maker, our final 4 stages outside of the final boss is going to be the sewers, the ramparts, the lab, and the tower. But the overall theme is under construction. So it's going to be what like Dr. Wily is building his castle, but he hasn't finished it yet. So there may be holes in the floor that it seemed like not a great place to be a hole in the floor because the building's not finished yet. sewers will have like a water section. Ramparts are going to be like up above, kind of sky. Hey, we got it. All right, that's our enemy skill materia, or any enemy away materia. I wouldn't mind getting more enemy aways, because that's just a lot of GP. Oh, counter, that's another thing on our list. So yeah, that's the theme for Friday. The stream is 8 to 8. But if we finish a little early, I might, if I have enough time, I'll play like a Mega Man game. Maybe I'll play like Mega Man 4. I can do 4 pretty quickly. Otherwise we'll wrap it up for that day, just because I do have to work on Saturday, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Ice crystal. Oh, wow. All right, another counter. Guys, you're in my way. Get out of my way. You guys, none of you have a hope in hell of winning, so just step out of the way. Let me go by. All right. At least with the higher ranks, we have to wait as long. Another ice crystal. All right, that's one done. Hey, Sid wants to ride. Sweet. Finally. I think it doesn't appear until you get at least somebody to S rank. All right, Sid, don't be an idiot. Please ride well. This guy's definitely not as speedy. Oh yeah, I forgot green chocobos don't have to slow down in the last section, which makes the last section way faster. All right, I'm just going to quickly take a chance here to post the Mega Man Maker stages in Discord. Give me 1 second here. All right. Cloud, you didn't win. Sid won. So today's stream is mostly Chocobo Racing. Tomorrow's stream will also be Chocobo Racing, because the plan is to just Chocobo race until we get all the materia from here. And then we also need enough JP or GP to get the other materia from the Wonder Square. But once we get to S rank, we're going to regularly get items that give way more points, so it won't take as long once you get higher up. So I'm just going to get my materia list here. So we got enemy away already. Enemy lure is from Battle Square, which we will get later. Experience Plus and Guild Plus are both things from Wonder Square. W Summon is from the Battle Arena for points. Fire Fang. Mega All's final dungeon, I think preemptive is... Where is preemptive from? Where's my list here? Preemptive is Battle Square reward. Speed Plus is Battle Square reward. Counter is from here. Sneak Attack is from here as well. And Final Attack is from Battle Square. I think Final Attack is the first time we beat Battle Square. If you get through all 8 rounds, you get Final Attack the first time. So realistically, if we can get that counter... The other ones, I'm pretty sure Sneak Attack... And, oh, Magic... Isn't Magic Counters in here too, isn't it? I think. Yeah, let me double check here. Final attacks. Yeah, Magic Counter. Oh, Magic Counter is in the it's in North Square, but it's also a Chocobo Racing reward. All right, we're almost there. My gosh, it takes forever. All right. Our green chocobo named Blue is now B rank, so we're halfway there. And I'm going to race this out, and I'll be right back while we race. This song is going to drive me crazy later because I know I'm going to have to do that stupid chocobo game in 10. We have to get ultimate weapons, which means I have to do the dodging chocobo game. Now, I think green has a really high... I think his sprint is really high. All right, I'm going to talk about, what are we talking about? Incentives that we've completed for games that we have yet to play. We have a bunch of them. So I'm going to just kind of go through them while we do this here. We have Final Fantasy VIII All Final Weapons, which is basically we have to get the final weapon for each of the main characters. It's the one, usually it's basically the one at the bottom of the list. So Lionheart is an example. And then I think Exeter, Marlborough Tentacle, or whatever it's called, the one that uses Marlborough Tentacles. And we also, okay, can't pick one we don't have. We also have FF9 All Blue Magic, which means we're going to have to use Quina quite a bit. And then we've got another one for FF8. We have to defeat Omega Weapon, which honestly is not going to be that bad because we are going to play some cards and we'll have a lot of items by then. Also for 8, we are going to be playing PS1 version, so we're going to actually have Chocobo World. So we might be getting some items. We'll have to get lucky to get items from Chocobo World that are actually useful. But we will have Chocobo World. I will be running it off stream, So I'll have it with me at work and everything like that when we're playing FF8. And then FF12, no Libra or Bangle, which means we're not going to see traps. So it's 50% me remembering where traps are and 50% me dying to traps I don't remember about. We have FF8 all blue magic, which means we have to get Shockwave Pulsar, which means we have to level Siren to level 100 because we need Curse Spikes to get that. I think it's Curse Spikes to get that. The other ones are relatively easy to get. And then we have FF8 Encounter Half and Encounter None banned, which is not necessarily bad because to get the blue magic, we're going to have to level up GFs anyway. So we need experience to do that. All right, A rank. Then we also have FF9. There was a window color selection, which I believe blue won. I'd have to double check who claimed it and what they selected, but I'm pretty sure it's blue. And then there is Final Fantasy X's Sphere Grid and Customize at save points only, which is kind of what it sounds like. So when we want to use Customize or improve people's Sphere Grid, we have to do it at a save point. I'm going to judge that as I have to be standing beside a save point. I don't necessarily have to be like right on top of it, or I don't have to be in a menu to do it. I just have to be right by it. All right, we need... I think we're going to be okay because we can fly through this section like Joe can, so Joe can't catch up. People have chosen the dresses that we're going to be getting. Come on, enemy away. No. Oh, there was no way I could have gotten that. Okay. All right, Sid. Then we also have a whole bunch of FF15 DLC. We're gonna get. Oh no, not again. Gladio, Prompto, Ignis, and Arden DLC, all of them. We're also going to be doing all hunts in that game. Not all quests, but all hunts. Come on, just stay in front of Joe. Stay in front of Joe, come on. I need to win, or at least I need to win. That enemy away is going to make life a hell of a lot easier to get GP. We're also going to be playing with the Expert Sphere Grid in 10. That was an incentive as well. Someone picked, I believe it was Expert that we're using. And then we've got, what else do we have here? We have Final Fantasy IX All Chocographs and Ozma, which we talked about earlier. We're going to be playing most of the 13.2 DLC. Antarctic. Boo. Boo. Then we've got... I should probably check my timer here because we're getting pretty close. Yeah, 14 minutes, okay. We still have time. Elixirs. Oh god, it's Joe. Come on, Joe. Can you not? Try to get a little bit ahead of here. Then we also have, what else do we have in this list here? We already talked about those. We have, yeah, Requiem of the Goddess DLC for 13.2. FF7 Every Materia, which we're currently working on. FF16 all hunts, which means we're going to do most of the quests. We are going to be doing Yuffie's DLC and remake. We're going to be doing all world intel and rebirth. And then in 13, we're going to be defeating the Doom Herald, which is the final mission. Final Seath mission. Ooh, elixir. Well, that'll be worth some points. All right. Everything is S rank here. So we're going to end the Chocobo themes here. Let's go to Wonder Square, see if we can afford anything now. We should be able to afford one of them. Jump up. There we go. That's weird. All right, 780, we can afford something. Let's get this one. What? We didn't need a carob nut. Boo. All right. Well, now we got, at least we got the item. So we need the other two items. Station. We haven't seen the guy that sells GP yet. He hides in that little house in the back. Alright, so we are done with the two blue, so the blue and the green. We're gonna go breed the blue and the green. We should get a black. And then we have to go get a wonderful chocobo that's the opposite sex of the black one. We do that up by Icicle Inn. And then we'll also have to fight some battles, so the next kind of break from Chocobo Racing will actually be the final dungeon. Because we'll go down, collect all the items, come back up. Get some levels. Alright, mating chocobos. Shouldn't mate those that just mate. You shouldn't mate those that just mated or those that were just born. Alright, so we can't mate those yet, so we have to fight battles. So I made a little bit of a misstep, but everything is going according to plan anyway. Because we still have 2 side steps to do. So that kind of puts us in a good spot. This is actually a really, really good spot to end the stream. So we will be back tomorrow at 5. Tomorrow is final dungeon time. We're going to clear out the final dungeon, get all the items, get the materia that are down there, get some levels, maybe gain a little bit of AP. And then we will be back to mate these guys to get the black. Then more racing with the black and the wonderful, and then we're going to mate those to get the gold. Might not finish that part tomorrow because the final dungeon is going to probably take like an hour. So we're going to wrap it up for today. Let me take a look and see if anybody's floating around here that might like a raid. Oh man, well that was easy. All right, so we are going to go raid Pi. Pi is playing Billionaire, which I have been playing kind of casually on the side. It is kind of like Balatro meets Plinko. Kind of hard to describe, but she's great. So let's go ahead and hang out with Pi for a little bit. If you don't follow Pi already, make sure that you drop her a follow. If you're not following our channel already, please drop a follow. I'm Taevan. We're going to be playing more FF7 and then a whole crap more of FF7 games, and then 8 and then 9, and then continuing all the way to 15. Actually 16. I don't even remember what games there are anymore. Yeah, we're going to be at this for a while. And Friday is our Extra Life game day, games day. Mega Man Maker all day. We're going to make Mega Man Maker levels and probably play some too. So I hope you guys have an awesome night. We'll be back tomorrow at 5 Eastern time with a whole lot more Chocobo Racing, but also the final dungeon and doing some leveling. So have a great night, guys. Let's go say hi to Pi. Bye.